Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Rampage and this is my Outlast review. Outlast is a psychological survival horror game developed and published by Red Barrel Games for PC and in Q1 2014 for PS4. Red Barrel Games was founded by people who were involved in previous works such as Prince of Persia and Assassin's Creed. So how did this talent go to use within Outlast? The story begins with the player playing as a character called Miles Upshur, a freelance journalist who received a tip about Mount Massive Asylum, the psychiatric hospital within Outlast. However, it wasn't stated what the tip-off consisted of, or why he of all people got this tip-off. Upon entering the halls of the asylum, you quickly realize that something has gone horribly wrong, with dead bodies scattered throughout the main hall, and blood up and down the walls. Without outlining most of the story, Miles has to figure out what went wrong within the asylum. The rest is up to you. Outlast is by far one of the best looking indie horror games on the market as of 2013. With its detailed environments and horrifying character models adds to the element of horror, keeping in mind this is still an indie horror game. Not only are the graphics just impressive to look at, but the shadows and lighting are also well presented, which furthers the element of surprise. With the inclusion of bloody footprints after walking in a pool of blood got me really excited because that type of detail isn't exactly seen in many games these days, so it was a nice added bonus. Although the game is mostly in the darkness, you can clearly see where Red Barrel Games shines. The game politely gives the player the use of a video camera which you can use to see in dark places, or simply use the camera's night vision to help navigate the environment easier. However, using the camera or night vision drains the batteries extremely fast for some reason. It's okay though, batteries are scattered throughout the world. When Miles gets injured, the game uses a health regeneration system, so just stick to cover or hide for a while and you'll be fine. Miles is a defenseless human who can't do anything but run away or hide from enemies. But that's not to say the game doesn't have its scary moments, mind you. Apart from some scripted events which cause Miles to nudge enemies away from him, the only means of escape is through the fear of death. Miles can do all the normal game attributes like climbing ladders and vaulting over ledges, but presents a fluid motion between both the running animation and vaulting mechanic, which provide a satisfying feel when you evade your enemy successfully. You as the player are also able to hide inside lockers, under beds or tables. Using any of these hiding methods still doesn't mean you are safe, as some enemies will search every room and under or inside objects to find you. However, there are a few sections within the game where you can exploit a crawl mechanic, in between two ledges, to easily evade enemies, which made these areas feel a lot safer. Alongside the exploit came the mission objectives that required you to turn on generators, which felt like the pace of the game had hit a stop. While I fiddle with these meaningless objectives, within Outlast, every sound is extremely versatile in determining whether you stay alive or be run down by a psychotic inmate that roams the halls. The music also plays a part in if you will get scared or not at the scripted jump scares within the game, which I can assure you there aren't that many of. All I can say about the soundtrack is that it's beautiful to listen to. I found myself not even paying attention to the environment sometimes, where I would just simply be listening to the soundtrack and then get the shit scared out of me because I got butt raped by an inmate. Outlast passed my expectations with flying colours, however there are a few nitpicking moments where the game bogged down with the generator missions and exploiting the shelves made the experience dull. If you could only go through the shelves once, then if you tried to backtrack the enemy would break through the shelves to reach you, then I could understand, but since it could be easily exploited to the point where the enemy would just roam off and then you could come out and pass them, I found that quite annoying. Being unable to defend myself, game mentality of horror games these days seems to be the only way that horror seems viable, yet if there were more enemies in one area and I could pack a wrench, then I'd still feel frightened but still be having fun. With that being said, the overall presentation of the game with the horror elements and the story behind it, Outlast gets a 7.5 out of 10. Hope you enjoyed my Outlast review. Please don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe. Peace out.